Namaskar and Jai Hind to all. Welcome to the inaugural session of 5 days online faculty development program on case writing and publication, turning records into powerful teaching tools. Case study analysis is an important method of learning both for the students as well as the industry. It involves an in-depth study or investigation in all aspects of a real situation or phenomena to understand the reasons and probable solution to it. Many a times we find a number of real-time business situations that are left open in the market, unattended. We, as academicians, pick up such cases during the course of teaching, discuss amongst the students, and then move on. Very seldom does this thought come to our mind. Can we investigate the issue further? How can we connect with the industry or the company who is dealing with the issue to find a suitable solution? If we have answers to these questions, thus starts the process of turning records into case studies, leading to converting them into effective teaching tools. With these thoughts, I once again welcome you all, the participants, to our faculty development program. I would now invite Dr. T.R. Pandey, Director, AKGIM, to share his thoughts and inaugurate the FDP program. Sir, please. So you're not audible?
Is that okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
When you oscillate between Zoom and Google Meet, that is what happens finally. But never mind, this again a case now for us to study further. So, Jai Hind and good evening to the galaxy of participants gathered here for this particular FDP, online FDP that will span for 5 days with just 1.5 an hour, per day, I believe. The topic has been chosen by the organizers as case writing and publication, turning records into powerful teaching tools. This topic primarily may appear to most of us, rather all of us, quite trodden, quite repetitive. But there is a catch, and that catch will unfold going forward. I believe all of us are management faculty here. If not directly into management teaching, some way or the other, we must be connected and related with teaching in management. Further, I believe, rather it is my strong conviction that I continue to share with everybody, that once you have chosen your career as a management faculty, you just have not chosen a career in management, teaching of management. Rather, I'll say a challenge you have chosen, and that challenge is not one-time challenge. It is folding, unfolding, learning and unlearning, and so many things are there. So that is why, I often say it's a challenge, because it makes a faculty, especially in management, to always be on the toes, to always have 360-degree of surveillance, using the same 2 ears and 2 eyes. Coming on to the topic once again, quite a few years ago, we had audio and visual way of teaching. We used to call it multimedia based teaching, because laptops and computers were quite fresh, new in the system. So it was thought that application of PowerPoint presentations or uses of computer or teaching with the help of laptops or computers would rivet the attention of the audience, the students here. And now, because audio-visual way, rather audio-visual mechanism or system has become so much prevalent that it appears to be quite outdated. And this all was done only to attract the attention of the audience. Why? Because as a teacher, we all will agree, rather many psychologists, many researchers, they claim that around 80 to 90% of the communication that we make is often non-verbal in terms of understanding, by the audience. Further, we'll agree that attention span of the student is hardly more than 10 to 15%, whereas against this particular attention span, classes that run, they are of 50 to 90 minutes span. So there's a gap of 50 to 90 minutes on the one hand, and then 10 to 15% of attention span by the student on the other side. And therefore, who will be attentive and who will be not depends upon how both the audience or the student, they are motivated, their mood, and of course, the perceived relevance of the topic or the method of teaching. As I told you, that 80 to 90% of the communication or understanding is through kinesics, that is non-verbal. And therefore, here comes the question, because we are more going to discuss management education, because we all are in management only. So question comes, how to engage the student positively, how to spark creativity to solve the problem. Because we are not just a teacher of mathematics. We are not plain, management teacher. We are not into linear teaching. We are into management education. We are into management teaching, and that is quite non-linear in approach. Therefore, attention and engaging the student becomes of utmost importance and a challenge at the same time, which I said at the beginning itself. Because when we are teaching in management education, we expect student as well as faculty too to have higher order of thinking and cognition, thinking application required to solve the problems creatively. This is what I mean to say here. And therefore, case study method comes into the picture as one of the next step to solve the problem, to engage the attention, to make the students, stay creative. And therefore, case studies are there because we believe out of our own experience that case studies are a great medium to engage, to enable students, and of course to excite, because a class has to be equally stay excited for the duration a teacher is standing there if it has to be meaningful. And therefore, next question that comes, which we must agree to, the cases that we'll be using, because most of us might be using and of course shall be using, whether the cases that we are using or will be using, they emerge from some real life situation or not. Are they simple enough to excite the students? Are they simple enough to generate curiosity among the students? So these are few questions, because the world is full of case studies, so much of case studies are there. It will be very difficult for you to find out as to which one is relevant, which one is not. Because in India, I believe the only organization dealing more into case study writing and publication is ICFI. In fact, they are the great contributors from India, as far as my knowledge goes, to ECCH, European Case Clearing House. ECCH is one of the vertical, I'll say, of Cranfield University, UK. So, this is which one to choose out of the plethora of cases or ocean of cases we have. Because we are in India, and if you choose a case, from US, UK, from even China, or from some other European country, it will have a whole door relevance. And then it will create a lot of boredom, among the students. So despite you using a particular case, your method may not be landing up appropriately and the outcome will not be along the desired track. And therefore, we'll have to choose which case to take up to spark, the discussion creatively in the class. Going forward, because for last 9 to 10 months, we are almost having a blended mode of, teaching, learning. A majority of the time, went while sitting at the home because of COVID-19. Trust me, when you think of writing a particular case, you have to have that particular, excitement among yourself first, that conviction among yourself first, that you will be using a case study only to teach in the class. Because until that conviction, that confidence, that traction is not there, the curiosity to write case, use any case study that for that matter, will not be correct. Then it will not convey the desired outcome with which you took it up. So in order to be a writer of case, you need to be one enthusiast of it first. And therefore, as I told you just now, that COVID-19, although it's a very disturbing situation, this particular year, I'll say oceanic year, I don't know whether I should say year or years, because still things are very much uncertain. So for those who are case study enthusiasts, this COVID-19 year will probably serve as a Gangotri, for many of us to deliberate, to create, to discuss, and to write cases. But there is one rider, that this will be possible only when we are having, a 360-degree surveillance. Rather, we become a Trikaldarshi kind of, person, that we are having our ears and eyes open to the sea of data coming in front of us. Otherwise, cases will be there. You may take up a case, but the case may not be relevant, because something that happens out of India may not be appropriate to India. You may say that you are a good case study, you take up cases, but how relevant that is. And the problem, it's my personal experience, that most of the faculty members, they take up cases, not directly related with Indian system or industry or markets or society. And what happens? The concerned profession finishes the case, but the case finally stands irrelevant. So this we have to be very, very cautious of. I hope that intellectuals that we have, especially Sri Devendra Datta Misra ji, who is the Executive Director of Pune Metro Rail Project, will help us become creative, will make us enthusiastic to understand the importance, and accordingly will start taking up, writing cases for ourselves and for many other students in different corners of the country, for many publishers as well. So I'll not take more of a time. I'll say thank you to most of you, because it's a chilling winter slot we have decided, from 6:30 to 8. And if you are here, I believe you are really very, very serious, and you deserve a lot of thanks for it. So thank you once again. Namita, you can take up now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your valuable insights. Your relentless and untiring support to all the programs that are held in our college. It instills a very, very positive streak of enthusiasm in all of us as a team. Thank you so much, Pandey sir. Now let's start with today's session for day 1. Before I invite Mr. D.D. Mishra, the resource person for today's session, let me just introduce him to you. Mr. Devendra Datta Mishra is an ex-Indian Railway Service of Electrical Engineers, IES 1990, and presently serving as Executive Director, Rolling Stock, Maharashtra, Metro Rail Corporation Limited, Pune, Maharashtra. Mr. Mishra did his graduation in Electrical Engineering from Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology, Gorakhpur, in the year 1989, followed by post-graduation in electrical machine and drives from IIT BHU, 1991. He is also postgraduate in management, public policy from IIM Bangalore. He has an extensive experience of over 30 years and an expertise in system-wide project planning, development, and management for metro rail, high-speed rails, railway electrification projects. He is a qualified expert in risk management and related due diligence process management for international funding agencies, funded rail and metro infrastructure projects. Having visited abroad, the various countries, USA, UK, Germany, France, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, UAE, Mr. Mishra has a versatile experience and exposure to the latest global trends and technological advancements in rail and urban transport system. I welcome you, sir, to take the session that is going to be an insight into the industrial relevance of case studies. Mishra, sir, please, the stage is all yours.
So, namaste, good evening, and I am thankful to AKGIM management and all the senior Professor Pandey and Namita ma'am and others, and all the respected audience here. I am absolutely from the industry, hardcore, very ground level person. So really, it is a great honor for me to share my ideas with such a knowledge forum where so much knowledgeable and very high level academicians are present. So, of course, because coming in industry or practical, having the real life, we all are groomed and molded in the institutions, through the professors, instructors, all that. So certainly, with having that regard, I have just framed my first on a theoretical basis, what is the concept in general, what I could learn from in the management schools and my practical aspects of the case studies. So few slides I will like to share in that framework, and simultaneously I will like to share my practical ideas, what are my experience in industry that I will like to share, and it will be pleasure for me to have it interactive. Anytime it will be pleasure for me. Any respected audience can ask, we can interact. So this will work, I hope. So I shared my presentation, will be shared from your end, or if I am given authority, I can share from my end. What is convenient? It is fine for me.
So whatever you feel comfortable with.
If I can share from here also. If
you want?
Fine, or you can share.
We can manage it, sir. If you say so, we'll manage it.
I have already sent through email, or I share from here. So I am given authority to share.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share it. So can we share?
I'm trying.
Okay. There is one present now, sir, at the bottom of the screen. Rahul, sir?
I am trying.
Yes,
I am on the screen, and next.
Rahul, sir, you can open up the PPT.
Sure, ma'am.
I have opened, and.
No. So we'll share it. No issues. We'll share it, sir. No issues. अभी हम share करते हैं, sir.
Please, if you can share from your end.
Yeah, sure, sir, sure. No issues. Also, screen is not shared so far.
Yes, ma'am. Just I'm sharing. Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Anyway, before it is shared, we can go ahead. So just just crafting, because what was the main topic? So I just drafted my few slides. How it should be purposeful, the case studies. I will try to link with the practical experiences which we feel in industry. As Professor Pandey very rightly pointed out in the beginning, that management teaching or learning is quite different from theoretical concepts what we go like engineering graduation or normal graduation. Because the real fact is that management is nothing but touching the reality. And we, either we say theories are very linear, or precisely we can say defined dimensions are there. For example, mathematics or other subjects, we read some certain proven theories are there, proven formulas, we go with that. Real life is very different. Even if we go with our family life, it is itself having so many dimensions. It becomes so difficult. Theoretically, two people are married, simple. Parents, if it is arranged marriage, parents see they see the compatibility in all the way. If people believe in astrology, also that compatibility is there, and married, and theoretically it looks fine. Everything should go ahead. But when two persons interact, and then so many dimensions come in the picture, I believe management is very much like this. Only probably Mr. Pandey told, if I recall correctly, he told 80 to 90% things are quite possibly communication or behavior are unknown. They are not defined, undefined, precisely to say. And only 10-20% things are no. I recall one very good quote when this public policy was teaching in IIM Bangalore. Professor Sen was there. He used to tell, he always in theoretical life, you find that everything is fine. Like in mathematics formula, you find everything is correct. You will solve, answer will be correct. But when you are managing any decision or situation, real life, quite possibly everything is fine, everything is correct. Even then, she used to tell about the word window of opportunity. That everything is fine, but window opportunity is closed. So you are not able to cross through. So in management deals with this, how one can perceive this management of when it is opening, when window is opening, everything is fine, everything is correct, all the factors are available. But how to basically, when is that window opportunity open, and that moment only we can cross the window. That is the basically, I believe, all the premise lies there, and management study is also dealing this aspect. That is the reality. So if next slide comes, first I will go through this framework. Next slide. So I feel, as we were discussing, objective of the case studies is basically to focus on these complexities of decisions. Real life, as we already discussed, they are not simple, they are not linear, very complex, multidimensional. So those complexities are simulated through the case studies, precisely to say. And it is not that it is a new thing since centuries. These case methods, history of the organization, elaboration, and even so many war decisions, such and such war was won, or that this Britain lost the Waterloo, or some other so many historical, what was the strategic fall, something wrong happened when winning team lost this one. So such thing has been always example. And gradually this case study, if we say now in the modern era of the management, it is not just storytelling. It is more than that, because it is more professional, methodological, and has to be used for the teaching purpose. So certainly now it is very close to basically as rigorous as any empirical research, backed up with the data, backed up with the facts and figures. So now it is more professional and very elaborative, kind of like any research work, and rather more than research, because it has to be on one side as smooth and simple as storytelling, on other side it should be duly very backed up and deep like any research. So it is very, rather it is a combination of storytelling as well as research. And particularly for the students, it is a great opportunity to have the feel of the perplexities, difficulties and complexities of the real life situation. Like tomorrow, these students are tomorrow's leaders, future CEOs of the organizations. So very first-hand glimpse, understanding, imbibing the basically those dynamics of those situation, students have the opportunity to these case studies. And simultaneously, I believe for the instructors also, professors also, it is a great opportunity. Case studies give them opportunity for bridging them with the real life situation. Certainly, most of the time, professors have the compulsion to spend in classroom, giving instruction to this. So case study, I believe, gives them great opportunity to interact with the live world, with the industry, practitioners, the basically guest faculties they invite, they get the details. So it is a both way very dynamic way, helping to the instructors as well as the students. And more importantly, real settings of the organizations, businesses, those basically to the case study, what are the applied principles, concepts, students are coming to understand well through the case studies. I will like to precisely say, as an engineer, like we use a lot of simulators. For example, aeroplane or my metro train, there is a simulation machine we have which gives 100% feel. Some 6 months we give training to our train pilots before giving them real situation, and that basically simulators give them complete comfort and basically insight what is the real situation. So I believe those case studies are basically play the role of those simulators. And again, it basically helps in developing critical thinking and communication skills. Professor Pandey very rightly told that management students have to be very involving, engaging, and they have to develop thinking faculty, rather very versatile thinking faculty. So I believe case studies are such opportunities. Just curriculum subjects are solving the straightaway questions based on formula or economics or other subjects. It is beyond that. Give them opportunity to think in their own way. One decision can be approached in real life by 10 people in 10 different ways. So this is the opportunity. So that way it demonstrates do and do not know very much in the classroom. Next, please. Next slide, please. Yes. So that way, it is very important that any case study should not be just theoretical exercise, just some, and here I will like to slightly divert with my experience of management school. Certainly, I got opportunity to basically have my study in a very premier institution, management school, IIM Bangalore. But I will like to share here slight. It is not any disrespect to my organization. I have a lot of respect and fantastic organization. But one thing, because I went for my management school very late stage after almost 20 years of experience in industry. One thing I always felt there, we are very much copycat. For example, if 20 case studies we have gone through, hardly 2 or 3, like Arvind Eye Hospital, or maybe a couple of one, we are basically based on Indian our situation. Most of things we borrowed. Either it was some US company, it was a case of Walmart, or it was case of Boeing, or maybe Harvard papers. So that gives a kind of a basically non-satisfaction, or we can say incompleteness. When we are a country, especially in 21st century, I think India is the most exciting country in all the respects. Research work, industrial growth, financial management, we touch any field. India is probably the best laboratory and excellent laboratory to basically do anything. And few fields certainly we have done excellent, like communication field, IT and communication, we have basically leapfrog jump. Many like 60s, 70s, like 4, 5 stages, what US and developed countries have reached. India has reached that within a span of say 10, 15 years. We can recall even up to 2003, 2004, mobile phones were just basically very luxury item and rare item available. It was not available for the common citizens. Today, even rickshawala and everyone is having smartphone just within this span of 13, 14 years. So this is a great story. Same is about banking. We are in the era of the best managed banking system, world class. And it has happened just within the last 10, 15 years. So that way, India is the great story. And next 4, 5 decades, it has been great. It is basically this world story will be the Indian story. There is no doubt. So in that spirit, it is very unfortunate that our ground realities are not reflected in case study in the classroom. So this point I like to highlight, it is very important. And again, any case when it has to be accepted across the schools, management school accepted, certainly it's a publication, formal decorum, all those things are equally important. And as we know, publication has the legal issues, so the data used should have authenticity and proper duly approval. It should not cause any litigation. For example, any primary data has been used. Today is the world of all the legalities. Any small misstep and we will land in any legal trouble. So it is very important to have the basically understanding of all the legal framework and the real situation. Both things has to come together. And very important is that the case study should help in decision. It should not be just a theoretical exercise or just for the classroom sake or completing some curriculum. It is very important that purpose should be very clear from very beginning to the instructor as well as the students, that every case is helping me develop as a good manager, decision maker, future decision maker, or maybe immediately. So, and lastly, I would like to say that evidences for the case study, for example, in research work, we give a lot of focus on mostly ideal good research work is a lot of data, a lot of analysis, preferably primary data is there. But case study is not just any boring business. It has to be interesting. It has, on one side, have all the basically features of very pure research. Simultaneously, it should have the smoothness and interest of a story. So it is very important that it should be very polished, very interesting, intent-making, and simultaneously very formal. So formal as well as interesting, both means art, like art. Some art movies are very boring. People discard it. Some commercial movies hardly have any value. But some movies are having both this very nice entertainment, very engaging to the audience. Simultaneously, they have very deep message. So both case study has to be like that. A successful film story. Next, please. So if we go a precise framework, because case studies, and particularly when they are meant for the teaching purpose, it is very important to follow a formal structure and framework. So with my management school, what professors like you taught me and what I have understood a bit, a couple of case studies I got opportunity to work upon. It is very, so we can precisely divide in or basically clockwise if we go. First stage is ideation. Important is that how we, next I will slide by slide, I will elaborate all the idea. Basically ideation means we have to basically what is a good idea that we should have, and then what are the sources for idea, primary sources. Primary sources means like any guest lecture. For example, if I am from industry, I can, if I share with you some, you invite me, I share some problem of railway or metro. So such a real situation, guest lectures, speakers share with you, that is the opportunity for good case study. Because you are having good knowledge, understanding the concepts. So those concepts help to understand the problem. Probably some problem I am sharing with you, I am unable to, because this is a real problem. But you will be able to streamline in real, where is the gap. So this should be primary source. Similarly, any students are having their internship programs in the industry, their inputs, what they have seen there, the gaps, what are the difficulties, all these problems. So such thing of primary sources are one giving idea where are the gaps, where are the problems, or what are the issues. And certainly secondary sources are publications in newspapers or this other way, reports, all these things, annual reports of the organization, those things are secondary. But equally important is that any idea we are going, earlier we discussed that legality aspects are very important, particularly when we are using primary sources. It is very important to have the legality of permissions, due permission of that management, so that tomorrow going to publication, no issue should come. And next, coming to purpose, basically creation. Now question is, when we have good idea, we have to create. And here comes basically a tinkling of a story. Like it is a purpose, because we have to make it interesting. Like even very nutritious food, if it is not tasty, if it is prepared not very nicely, a recipe has to be interesting, which is basically accepted across all the family member, younger as well as people. That is the basically best recipe and best meal. Similarly, the case study should be interesting to the instructor as well as all the stakeholders, students and others. So there should be good purpose. And also puzzles are basically part of the interesting. They are the spices. They basically open the faculty of our mind. So always it should ask the questions. Going through the case study, it should incite one to think. And just interesting, why this is happening? What is going to happen? What he could have done? Just one starts putting in the shoe. For example, it is story of basically CEO of the company, how difficult he negotiated the situation, he or she. Then immediately one starts putting oneself as a character, that what could have done? I could have done this, or maybe this was right or wrong. Like that puzzle should be there. And then overall, the picture has to be created. Like a film movie, that different scenes are shot, and then finally a sequence, a rhythm is created, and a picture is created. And then third comes its application. And I don't need to elaborate, because application, all the respected faculties are here. So you are rather experts and practicing of this more than that. Probably in industry, I am just touching this concept. So certainly synopsis, intended like any research paper we intended use, learning objective, because instructors, they know very well. And I feel application is a kind of situation, and creation, both are going in tandem. So application means instructor manuals are created where instructor has the purpose, professor has the purpose. Like strategy professor, if he is basically putting forth some case studies, he has the idea, these concepts I have to basically make clear to my students, these processes. And I believe like lyrics and music both go together, creating. Same situation is here. One side, instructor manuals, his concept is prepared, simultaneously idea and creation. So both go together. Like lyrics come first, then music comes, then music basically fine tunes lyrics. Like that, this is basically very engaging process. So same is basically going on here, this creation and application. And certainly, lastly, publication. I think this learned audience is more knowing than me. I only like to tell that publication has a tricky part, that any case study, any research paper is particularly using the primary sources. It should be duly having the legal validity. So it is very important from where we are data, for example, any metro authority or any private authority, anybody using it, is very important that approval of competent authority is available, so that no litigations are there. So I explained. Next, what we discuss, I will fast go through one by one ideation. Some separate slides are there, some more elaboration. If time permits, we go detail, but I will request the next, we go next slide. So ideation, I discuss a good idea, and ideas are generated on primary sources or secondary sources. And as I already mentioned, primary sources means like any industry person coming as a guest speaker or keynote speakers, any knowledgeable, very experienced speakers, any conference, this one come, they give very good idea for the case studies. Students, they have internship, they visit industry, particularly management institute. Students have basically a real feel of the, it is part of their curriculum. So their basically inputs, their presentations gives opportunity for the case study. And very important is that ideas comes out by the partnership. It is very important. When few people, maybe everyone is having experience, but it is very important the partnership. This is the reason group discussions, group tasks has managed in management school. That time we found it very painful. All night, 5-6 people, some professor has given them assignment, and half time was left to agree. The 5 people, how they agree for some common thing. We were losing 3-4 hours, and then we were working. So this partnership is very important. And then of course, personal experiences of the instructors themselves, or anybody who can share their experience, stories, so many things, those can help as a primary source. And the secondary sources, certainly organizational informations in media, manual reports, published documents, papers, library books, all those are secondary sources. Next.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Pardon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
will the questions be taken at the last, or can we discuss?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
At the last.
Okay.
I'm noting down the questions. We'll just take up the questions.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I think quickly we can just 10 minutes 5 minutes we can complete it, then we can further interact. I will quickly. Yes, I have already given an idea. It is not much. Some 4 or 5 slides are there. Quickly
Sure,
we will.
sure. We'll take it up.
Next, please. Can you help to proceed? Next slide, please.
Rahul sir?
Namita, next slide. Can we go?
Rahul sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please go next slide, sir.
Further next, sir.
Yes, sir. Next, please.
This one, sir.
Next two.
I think.
Next one.
Next one.
Should I move further, sir, or this?
Yes, sir. Move forward, sir. Yeah, please.
Okay. This one, sir.
So it is not visible on screen to us, Rahul sir. It's still ideation.
Slide is not moving, sir.
Slide is not moving for us, sir. Rahul sir.
Sorry for inconvenience. Should I share?
The slides are visible, ma'am.
No, sir. Now it's coming. Yes, it's visible.
Please, we come to, I think, 5th slide. Yeah. Yeah, creation. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, as we discuss this, next stage is creation. It is basically first having good idea and then crafting the case. So case study, it is very important that the issue should be significant, which has to be analyzed. There should be sufficient information. As we already discussed, when taking idea, primary sources, we already defined whether we are taking from primary sources or secondary sources. So those things should be very clear. And very important that one who is basically creating have the basically knack of storytelling, and one should be rather very gifted writing. There have been so many authors, but storytelling by Munshi Premchand, that is fantastic. So many people have written a story because it feels when you read the story, you become basically one of the character yourself. So similarly, case studies should be so smooth. It should be written so skillfully that the who is instructing or who is basically learning from this should become a part of one of the character. And then there are 3 P's which has to be followed. There should be a purpose, there should be a puzzle, and there should be picture. We already discussed. So purpose means basically these 3 questions should come in the mind when we are writing the case study, creating. Why do I want to craft this case? And what is the message? What is the moral? Just like every story is having the moral. We in the childhood we used to be told from our elders, our basically grandpas, and that story. So many stories. Even our textbooks, there were stories like tortoise and rabbit, or there was story of squirrel and crow, or hardworking crow, this thirsty crow. So many things, and at that level, made it very clear in mind that what is meaning of, like, one was like a flock of pigeons in the due to their greediness, they basically unknown yes, they landed for the grains and they were basically trapped in it. And then one of them incited that collectively we can fly. And then they went to their friend rat and they cut the, like there's such stories. And if we, when we see from the managed point of view, those small, very simple stories, how powerful they were. And many times they used to basically help in basically building our character, our thoughts, our beliefs. So these case studies should help that way. So this, and second is puzzle. Puzzle means creating a plot, creating a sensation, creating a basically interest, and basically speculation. What will happen next? What is this one? So who is the audience? What is the intended level of challenge? Which level of students are involved? Which level of we want to project? Which level of problem? All these clarity should be there. And accordingly, the background details should be incorporated. And lastly, imbibing everything, like film shooting is happening, 50 locations, some thousand of shots are taken, and then finally editing, and basically everything is in a flow, it is created, and then it is a final movie. So picture is basically kind of that. And it is very much correlated with basically puzzle and purpose. Those are basically helping to achieve this picture. So these things are basically very closed loop system. Please, our next, we can go. And thirdly, it is very important because when we are using case study for teaching purpose, this, as I mentioned, things go parallel. On one side, crafting the case study, on the other side, instructor has already his basically his manual, his questions, his idea, what he want to basically instruct. Those things are going in tandem, in simultaneously. And as I mentioned, like lyrics and composing, music composition, both go together and both are basically refining each other. Similar thing is there, that instructor's manual and creation, crafting of the case, both go together and they are fine-tuning each other. And very much like research papers, so learned faculties are here, so those phenomena are already applicable here. It should be methodological proper, like case synopsis, and what is the intended use, who is the target audience, basically in which term to use, connections with the basically common use text. So all these things should be properly, formal framework should be honored, and that should be taken care. Learning objectives, theory and concepts, methodology, discussion, questions, all these things, learning plus research process, all those things should be basically combined together here. So going to next, and of course publication. Next is a publication. As I mentioned, it is very important. Can you all go next slide? So it is very important that all the data what has been basically used, those are basically duly approved, validated, and having approval. It is very important because we are going to publish, we are going to public domain, so legal litigation should not be there. And equally important is like any authoring the book or research paper, proofreading is equally important. Good professionals can take up this. And before launching the case or going for publication, some trial pilot case study, having feedback from the students, trial classes, and improvement based upon that. Those things can also be very helpful to have a very good, impactful case study. So if we see from the basically case audience point of view, those who are going to editors, they basically they have their own protocol, and they expect that any publication comes in their protocol, it is eligible for publication. Similarly, instructors, they know that I have to use in my certain classroom that idea, accordingly it should be fine-tuned. And similarly, students' feedback, and they are basically having their feel, how they are going to react and accept it. So that will determine that what should be the basically real test, final test of the case, and how it is going to help participation of the students. So, and at the end, one slide, I have put a kind of summarizing all this, a checklist. So I request Rahul if you can go to the next slide. A checklist basically for case writing. So I have, my purpose was this, to basically share particularly with the students, they will have some good framework. So it should be, I hope it will be helpful to them with the help of some papers and what I have studied in schools, some idea. Based on that, I presented. My idea was to share particularly the basically student, I mean, those people. So I hope this is useful. So I have already detailed on these things. Just I have summarized and put in a kind of checklist like ideation, how we identify the idea, then access to the primary sources if available, and then secondary sources also, what are available, library, all this information, some books, latest books, data, all these things. And then of course primary data we are using, so permission of the organization, top management, all this important. And then already we elaborated creation part. So you want to why you want, what is your purpose, what is the message, what is the moral of your case study, and what are the outcomes, what are the scenario basically you want to describe through the case, and then what are the characters included that you basically, and then what is the background, and always keep in mind who are going to be the audience of your case, and puzzle, as we were discussing, what level of challenge, what level of questions, what level of basically thought process you want to incite in the your basically audience. That is equally important. That should be the level decided in your case study. And then of course target discipline. And similarly, basically application, proper research, like research paper, some formal structure is there that should be basically adopted here, so that it is having very clear defined domain clarity, and including if it is a good basically structure IM is good, then it helps in also publication, and usefulness of the case study is by and large depending on this premise, how much how questions are framed, and because all our idea and creation will also depend on the basically IM. This is the reason I told you both has to go simultaneously, and it should basically very clearly define the theoretical concepts which we instructor want to basically make clear or make learning to the students. And there should be basically very accurate pointed questions, and detailed answer also should be available to them, so that it gives finally cross-checking and clarity to the students and learning people. And lastly, publication, as I earlier mentioned, it is very important, good publication, and then follow the journal's case, formatting guidelines, and the case should be basically proofreading. It is very important. Grammar is correct, all this, because any high end and which has to be presented teaching, it is very important. Its purity is very important. Small even mistakes, even textbooks, if we recall, any small mistakes, it was eyesore, and it gives wrong impression. It overall, because what is taught in the class, as I can share with the student, that is having a lot of dignity and a divinity. If students, learning people see with a lot of respect and basically regard to that. So it is expected that what is presented, it should be very having very a kind of serenity is there. So any type of mistake, grammatical mistake or such typographical mistake, they give wrong impression. So it is very equally important to have the basically very foolproof and spellings, punctuations, all these things grammatically, case study should be duly verified and proofread well. So from my side, sir, this was the presentation, and in between questions, I will like to share my industries of experiences, and during the case study, a couple of what experiences, particularly collecting primary sources, what interesting experiences. If somebody asks a question, maybe some question may be related to that, I will in the question answer session, I can say it. So now I leave to Namita and audience. Further interaction we can have. It is my pleasure to share further ideas based on what I could share here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before I move to some of the questions, because there are a number of questions which are coming around with some of the areas that you covered as a part of presentation. Just one highlight from your side. I mean, I want you to throw something, some light on your experiences as far as, because you are there, you have almost all your career with the railways, and there may have been some problems and issues wherein you might have thought it would have been better if some extensive research from the academia side would have been done, and a proper solution to certain issues with reference to the railways would have been found out. So maybe more of collaboration, where you felt there should be a collaboration between academia and industry, so that a research-oriented solution is reached to certain issues. So in that terms, it is some lives.
Yes, Namita, it is, of course, very interesting, particularly from my side, and because this is, by and large, when we here in industry, or we here in this profession, we discuss, we sometimes also share our helplessness and also simultaneously our keenness. Although today naming China or such countries is basically taboo today because there are so many other issues. But just a couple of experiences, what I feel, particularly as you rightly told, in the railway industry, and last 10-12 years I am in metro industry, where most of the technology, like starting from DMRC, and particularly our high-end technology, I can say like our metro trains, and then our signaling system. These things, these systems are still, although now we are talking making India, and by and large we are shifting manufacturing, some vendors we have developed, but it is, and that reason I got opportunity to visit outside different countries, like going to Germany or Italy or European countries or US or Singapore. So when like 10-12 years back, when we, first time we went there, we found that their engineering, detail engineering, like even if pavement is constructed, how they have the last person, like through IIM Bangalore, I went to Syracuse University. Syracuse is basically like Roorkee University, basically in New York State, and it is a near Buffalo. It is a maybe population of some 150,000 must be the population, and it is totally like I compare with Roorkee. Like Roorkee is a university town, same thing was there. But I was surprised that they have the infrastructure quite rather. If I compare with Delhi's, many things are far better than that. Like they're basically even I was so impressed by the how every pavement is basically designed in the way, the pedestrian path, that a person even basically incapable person, basically disabled person on wheelchair can directly move from one's flat to the bus station, and even buses are equipped in the way that they will basically help that basically disabled person along with the wheelchair properly. And so this deep level, I mean to say, similarly, if it is raining very heavy, even then on the road you will not find any kind of chaos, or like in our India, even city like Delhi, 60-70% of our roads are submerged in the basically drains. So I felt that engineering, detail engineering, that we don't respect here. And here comes what you told. Industry, academia, our knowledge domain, without their involvement, the true sense basically research work and imbibing the basically new thing, new technology can never happen. Because in industry, our focus is basically we are just user. Like we go in the restaurant, I have money in my pocket, and I have 2 hours time, and I am hungry. My focus is I order quickly, it is served. I am not going detail. Only I am knowing the basically menu description, says taste, that's all. But those details, how it is prepared and how basically nutrition is basically they are taking care for different customers, how taking care for their health apart from their taste, so many things. That deep thing come from the kitchen. The basically the chef who's there or the experts who are basically experts. Similarly, these institutions are the basically real support. Either engineering colleges or basically our management schools, all these faculty, they have to play the role. And unfortunately, in our nation, although maybe 20-30 years back we could afford, institutions are busy in their just academic exercise, just churning out students, and industries are just silo their work, doing the work. But today, if we are not leveraging each other, then probably we are doing so much harm and basically to ourselves as an institutions, as an industry, as well as to the nation. We are basically depriving our nation to basically leveraged by this. So this is very important. This I have felt. So this has to lateral engagement of the institutions and industry has to come. It's very important.
Right, sir. Absolutely right. So I think it would not be incorrect to understand that it's not only in management that we require case studies. Case studies can be developed even if we take up some technical issue or problem that needs to be further researched. So that may be with reference to engineering, that may be with reference to any R&D.
And in fact, yes, sorry, I'm interrupting. Even senior professors are here, and Professor Pandey will also agree. And management is a very fantastic domain where basically social issues, human issues, engineering issues, technical issues, everything is at least I could find that in IIM Bangalore itself, at least 20 projects different. Even we were given freedom to work on renewable energy, greenhouses, green buildings, everything. So when management talks, management is never exclusive. It is very inclusive because it addresses human needs. It is not just this one. So certainly when management school talks about, it can't isolate itself from any engineering college. It can't attach only exclusively, I will deal only with social issues, I will deal with this one. And even social issues in today's world, just imagine even ordinary person's life, how without technology it is possible. Yesterday, Mr. Varadil Singh, probably he was telling, and he was very correctly telling that just by the basically just with the help of mouse or some 18,000, 20,000 crore. I'm imagining such money is transacted to this one. So technology is playing the role in social issues, every issue. Our life is basically not now separated from technology. Even very ordinary layman person is having very much idea now about the internet, what is 5, basically what is 4G, what is 3G, what is all those things, all these intricacies, technical intricacies, one is knowing. So I think management, that is the beauty of management. And this is the reason it is very near to the basically reality. And management is the true, in true sense, develops a person after one having pure, basically like one has come from the commerce background or art background or science background or engineering background. But management schools give them total personality and give total understanding. So I feel it is I don't segregate this engineering. Management schools are basically, they should take the lead to basically, because they are the right place which can engage the engineering colleges or even technical domain people. Because management schools give the real meaning, real purpose to the knowledge. either in technological or sociological or other fields. They give true meaning, true purpose.
Right, sir. Right. So there was Tarun ma'am who was asking some questions. So one question that she wanted to know is it essential that the case study should be always based on the success story of business or management problem? Can you enlighten some other themes too, please?
I believe the best stories are the failure stories. As I think basically that is adopted probably, that is the secret of so much entrepreneurs and such innovative success stories which come. People like in the age of 25, Zuckerberg is basically some $100 billion person. Facebook or such thing created or this thing, and the reason is not that they follow the success stories. Simple reason is they follow the failures and they are ready to laugh on their failures. And in my this 30 years of experience in the railway and even, trust me, whatever the real true learning has come, even I believe from childhood, if any value addition has come to me, only when the adverse situation, difficult situation, tough time when it was there, that was the great learning. And it is unfortunate, even I am sharing experience of my railway, so many accidents happen. Like any train, you must be, as a user, you must be, as a traveler, you must be scared. Some train accident happened, 100 people died. And what happened? Railway is also a big organization where there is civil engineer who is maintaining the track. There is a mechanical engineer who maintains the train. There is one basically electrical engineer who is running the locomotive, and then and there is signaling person. So 4, 5, so many people, and there is one basically operating traffic department which runs the train, gives instruction, controls the train. What happens when accident happens? Like in a family, any problem comes. What happens in a joint family? Everyone will like to blame others, because what happens if individual takes responsibility, everybody will blame him and he will be penalized. So what happens in the crowd? This situation is that you just shift your blame. You play smart. Use your best knowledge to cover. So what happens in such situation? Everyone helps collaborate to cover up the problem, and in the end, it is proven to the government or basically statutory authorities. So everything was well. It was basically God. It was just some God's hand in the failure. So what happens when we give this scene? No, it was not human error. It was not technical failure. It was not any mistake. It was basically some destiny or some God's hand in the failure. What happens the moment we take such plea or we hide in the problem? We at all basically first damage we do, we don't learn from the mistakes. The developed countries like Japan, I was reading, they do so many destructive testing. Every accident is a great opportunity for them to basically upgrade the system and make it foolproof. Somehow, unfortunately, due to some reason, due to basically agency problem and blame game, we don't want to some insecurity issues, whatever we name. We never tried to learn, and same happens to industry. And as a society, gradually we have shifted. We are ashamed to accept our mistakes. If somebody accepts in public mistake, he will be basically tabooed or basically punished, and then he will feel frustrated. So many people are playing smart. They have really committed mistake because they were smart. They did not accept, so they are free. And I am just honestly accepting my problem, so I am basically penalized. So people don't have the motivation. They don't have incentive to accept the failures. This aspect has to change. So my belief, strong belief, is that the failures, the failed companies, they are the great case studies. They must be the first preference for the case studies.
Right, sir. Right, sir. One more question from my end. It is with reference to how does the industry feel that case study approach of teaching the students is going to make the students much more industry ready?
I shared you my own experience, especially because that was basically a confluence of my school and as well industry. After 20, as I mentioned you, after 20 years and already backed up with some 7-8 years big project experience working in Delhi Metro and then Bangalore Metro, and also I was associated in a lot of preparation of detailed project reports of few metros. And that time, I'm talking 2009, there was a lot of talk about this basically public-private participation, PPP projects, and then international funding, so many things. So this excited me very much that some projects which are coming on public-private, for example, Mumbai, this metro, Reliance Metro had come. This Mumbai, this Delhi airport connecting had gone to Reliance, and subsequently, as you know, now DMRC has taken, and like Hyderabad Metro has come. So this was very fascinating to me. So I basically selected these two projects, this Reliance Mumbai Metro line and this. So these projects PPP are simply like this. The government goes in the market, offers kisi estimated cost for the say metro, some 30 kilometers will be 10,000 crores. If you construct and run, we will regulate the fare as per public parity. So some analysis they do that say in next 25 years, all the capital cost will be almost compensated. Now you come with the offer that how much help you need from the government. That is called gap funding. If you feel that it is not, it is losing business for you, so how much basically you assess the loss. So the minimum gap funding one asks, that it is the lowest bidder and government goes. This is the basically, then one consortium is made, and then any company like Reliance Group, they got 10,000 crore project, they will some 10% have binding, they will fund by equity, they will have own money. The rest 80-90% they have to arrange through the bank funding agency. Now 8,000, 9,000 crore, if some bank consortium syndicate they give, naturally they have a lot of stake. So they do due diligence process, real risk analysis they do. So I was very keen about that. So I elected this project. My professor was not basically professor. He encouraged me, but he was very experienced. He told Mishra, I know you are a railway officer. You are very excited. I respect your excitement, but I am not very sure how much you will collect. That time I had not much idea what is primary data source or what is secondary. I was taking it very easy. He told me, mind it, this project will need a lot of primary data, primary source data. So be very careful. First, be sure that how you will collect the data. So that time I was basically not I had worked in Metro. I thought my colleagues will be there, and I will use my good offices and connections. I will get all the data. I went to Reliance Metro. It was different from Delhi Metro or any government metro. It was purely private. When I spent there 3-4 days, in spite of my friends there input, nobody could share any information. Even I made their basically project, basically CEO of that project, some I don't want to name the person, he was from BHL background. But I was surprised. I had basically shared when I was DMRC, so much information to them. But when I wanted basic data, they refused to share. They were talking very sweet. They offered me coffee, but they told very politely, Mishra, this 2 pages, but sorry, we will not give our inside data. Then somehow I was very frustrated. What I should do, how I will do my project. And then somehow I understood that ultimately funding is from the bank, and IDBI was leading that consortium. So I thought it is government bank, let me try. Although I was very disappointed, I had a lot of expectation from Reliance, but I thought let me visit there, because that bank had appointed due diligence agencies and all the study, all the details were there. When I went there, then I was directed, okay, you come with the letter. I got letter from IIM Bangalore. I met an executive director. She referred me to some group general manager. I met. some 2-3 days, I was so disappointed. They told, okay, some very average type, some peripheral document they gave me, and told, you can't take anything. You just have in the office spend, you can note down. Even you can't have the photographs or anything. I had my camera, I thought I will have some photograph. No, not allowed. It is very classified document. So what happened, by the time through the interaction I had with group general manager, so one day he shared, Mishaji, you have worked in metros and rights also. Can you help give the idea how many metros are coming and they are preparing detailed project report for our people? For me, because I was from this arena, it was very easy thing. I was already having in my laptop some 7-8 DPRs. I was involved. So I'm very delighted. I told him, sir, I share with you. I have myself. Like, last 1 year, I am struggling. I am using my links with other banks and rights, DMRC links. No, I'm very thankful. And by just few hours, by the evening, he told, why you are bothering so much? I am giving you all the details. And he just informally told his people, whatever Mishraji wants, you give him. And I got such cooperation. I got even sensitivity analysis, which was not accepting. They had done some different, very classified document. Even that I could do. And it helped me a lot in preparing my basically project report. That was appreciated. So what I want to tell you, it is really very difficult to get the primary source data. There is a lot of mistrust, unnecessary, and hierarchy. And so even as an institution, if you try, so there is a relevance. What I tell you, because I got those information, it helped me a lot in developing very good theory. And I came to know very happily that my case study is still for the PPP classes, training of the government officers, and this, that my case study is used. So I felt very delighted when director had some alumni meeting he was addressing. So he particularly asked me, Mishra, I am very happy you did very good work, and we are using that is very helping this one. So that somehow I feel this is need of the hour. As I initially mentioned, that leveraging is the basically need of the hour. A challenge is how we address this trust deficit, how basically beginning is happening, and it has to be from both sides. Industry has to take few steps, come closer to the institutions, and similarly from the institution side also some steps has to be taken to how this one. And I believe now your internship, all this of your students, those need to be taken very seriously, really in true sense. Ensure that maybe their report is only 5 pages, but more important focus should be that they, in true sense, they have intermingled with the industry. In real sense, they have visited some places. And I feel these young minds are the best to basically assess the gaps. Like if any management student or young graduate student is visiting any railway station, he or she is the best to point out what funny things, what silly thing, old things railway is doing. Why not these unnecessary complicated things like platform tickets we still sell, or we have windows ticket selling. I think any young guy will tell you what funny railway thing is doing. Why not railway is basically empowering the basically customers to the app, and basically this code bar, and this one simply people should be have this one. So I believe this multiple level engagement and participation is going to help a lot, and this is the high time. And it is basically this is the great opportunity to basically everyone to be part of this great story unfolding for India. So what you asked, I am fully with that.
Thank you, sir. I think it was really very insightful feedback that we got from your end. And we as academia and industry need to work very closely and on a very serious level. Because so there are so many opportunities in India nowadays, and even Indian economy is growing to multiple folds. So that's why it's very, very necessary. And very nicely you've put it through your own experience that how students' involvement is going to help them adapt even more in a better manner in the corporate culture. Because unless and until they go through those struggles and difficulties of even finding out some of the primary sources of data, identifying them and extracting information, they're not going to fit properly in the industry. So very nicely put in, sir.
Why I like to mention you personal touch, I tell you, this alumni strength is great. For example, if any boy comes from IIM Bangalore, if I am ED here in my organization, maybe officially it is very difficult to get any data. But if that institution comes, it is a kind of like my son is having all right on my knowledge and wisdom, like any great advocate or any great politician. By default, their children get the opportunity to learn all the basically 360-degree approach of the things. Same thing, alumni networking is the great opportunity. That gives a lot of connection, bonding, and it is a great leveraging. So these students, particularly, they should be encouraged to, I feel, go particularly where you're like now, if 20-year old institution, there are in industry a lot of alumni are available senior, and they are very handy in helping. Even engineering now we are already at the fag but initial is like in my railway, who are my seniors, my college seniors, or such bonding. It is a great help. So that personal touch is very important in knowledge sharing. This is the reason in our basically spiritual concept, Guru was having a lot of importance. This was the means, because whatever is the formal relation, but even students, if you see few students who are having very close bonding and teachers interaction, naturally professors, instructors have very special kind of basically giving kind of approach to them. Special, they in the class there are so many students, but the students who are keen and show the inclination, teachers feel so delight, instructors, professors, to basically give some extra to the guidance and this one. That personal touch, I believe, alumni group, association, going in industry, developing, encouraging them, and I think that should be part of evaluation. I believe that how much you could develop, how many people you develop your own network. Like, that was very great delight to me. I still share same bonding IDBI people. Whenever I go to Mumbai, I call. They insist upon that, no, Mr. Mishra, you should come for 10 minutes. You should have. So that long-term friendship we could develop. So these things help, and it is a mutual learning. When any person coming from faculty, I am telling you my experience. A lot of college engineering students come, even management students, for some training or this. Personally, I feel very delighted. I like. Otherwise, I don't find time. But for them, I always love. I will take them personally to my trains. They are very excited, learn new things. I don't leave them basically at some junior level. Normally, if I find time, I personally go. I find very happy, very a kind of elevation to be with the young minds. And sometimes I get surprised. They give so fantastic technical inputs or insight. He said, why you are doing like this? Recently in COVID time, some students 4-5 came for some training. So I went. So they were telling. They gave me very good insight. He said, so and so some these aeroplanes, they are using so combination of this basically COVID spray and all this machine, they told, and it is very automated. Person sitting here and through the robotic type arrangement, one can clean everything very minutely. And I found they also given you an idea, sir, it is available on Amazon. You can buy on them. And I was surprised. It was just hardly some 40,000 something good kit, and I purchased. So these young minds are very rather. I feel they are more great learning source. Their mind is very open, and today's this young, particularly who are born in this 21st century, they are different lot. So they are themselves good leveraging can be done by using their training, having idea, giving them independence to share their original thoughts.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I think it was very nicely ended by you, and very insightful feedback that we got from you, especially as an industry professional. There has to be a lot of interaction, and yes, students are an important part of the chain where between the academia and the industry, where both of us can work together. And case studies, it's important. I would like to conclude the session with two important things that I would explain. I would want to share with the participants is that case study cannot be done by sitting alone in the college if we are as an academia. And similarly, effective case studies cannot be developed by industry professionals on their own. So there has to be a little bit of interaction and more of data sharing, which is a challenge, as rightly put by Mishra sir. It's a very big challenge to extract primary data, and without primary data, we'll not be able to write an effective case study, because certain analysis needs to be done for effective results or for providing effective solutions or good solution to the industry with reference to any problem or any issue which is there related to that specific industry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. Now I would invite Dr. Vidhi Agarwal, a senior faculty from our college, to present to you, sir, with an e-memento.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I request Pankaj sir to please share the screen, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session.
Thank you. It is a great delight for me, and it is an honor and pleasure as well. And it will be always pleasure for me any time. I am always available, and this association, I hope, carries on, and in the future also we meet. I like to thank everyone, all the respected faculty members and other participants, having patience to hear me. Thanks everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Namaste.
Good day, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I would request to share the feedback, Manupya ma'am.